Welcome to Speak Sex. I am your host, Eurydice, and today's episode is going to feature two male guests who I think have very different opinions about everything: sex, morals, gender, and all the other topics that interest us here on Speak Sex. So thank you for coming. I would love to open up the discussion to both of you right away.
You ever been to a sex Addict Anonymous? I've actually always wanted to go.
I went.
But I'm always afraid they're not going to be good looking. Because the good looking people never want to quit, you know?
True. Yeah, there were a couple of guys who were really good looking in a clean cut way, which I like personally. You know, like American Boy, like white picket fence. Yeah. But you know, you have
That's your type? American Boy, white
No,
picket
I like
fence?
them all. No, I like the opposite too. No. I like the vast variety. I like body
Hello,
modified. I like people who don't look like anyone else very much. I just like to be
You need a
surprised.
little exotic in the look.
Yeah, I like exotic.
I mean, those Abercrombie
for sure.
kids are fun when you're 20, you know?
But, you know, to me, they're exotic. They're so the other. Because I don't, you know, and I want to keep them the other. So I don't like bring them in, but I do fetishize them. I just fetishize pretty much everything that's not like, you know, myself, which is a lot.
But I was going to say, you're so much.
Because I'm
You need a vanilla bean.
Yeah, I don't know. No. But anyway, the point is I have found sex addicts attractive, of course. So in my research, I was doing an article about it. And in my research, I kind of went, pretty legitimately. Like, you know, I told myself that I'm going to lie and say, hello, you know, I'm Eve and I'm a sex addict. But actually when I said it, I did wonder, like, am I? You know? So I did do it for a personal cathartic.
On your research, what did entail to be a sex addict, or what does entail to be a sex addict? Because I don't know, what is it? What is it perceived as a sex addict at these meetings or? Right.
So, I mean, the ones who identify hit bottom, right? So when you hit bottom, it means that, either you've got some illness, you know, like an STD that's serious. So now you have guilt. But most of the time it's ruined your marriage. You've lost your job. You're constantly masturbating. You're constantly looking for new partners. You're constantly like cruising. It's out of control. You know, you don't do anything else. You basically have lost your ability to like hold a job or have a family or something. You obsess over sex so much. But what they say, you know, the interesting thing about, the wild thing about it is that unlike alcohol or drugs or anything else, like they don't say you should abstain and never have sex. They say you should, of course, like call on the greater God. So that's similar. There are 12 steps, but basically.
What are the 12 steps?
But basically your main job, like where you're going, where you're heading, like your healing is to be able to change the portal to sexual pleasure. So they want you to be monogamous and they want you to practice extreme honesty. And they, you know, want you to like have only sex with love.
Your face is priceless when you say that.
Which, like,
Wow, you guys
limits,
are sex addicts.
You know,
I think you should.
it limits only having.
Love
Why
the
you say-
situation.
Because how hard is it to fall in love? Like you would
I don't know you necessarily have to fall in love, but there should be some love. Passion is love.
Oh
there
yeah,
should
of
be
course.
some, you
no,
know.
that's not what they're talking
I
about.
think for me,
of course you feel
the
love.
sex addict, I mean, I think you actually have to degrade or abuse yourself in the way that, I mean, that could be a fetish for you or whatever, but that doesn't actually make you, when you wake up the next day, you don't feel good about what you did. You don't own what you did yesterday. It actually makes you feel bad about yourself, and yet you can't stop. That's the psychological addiction. That's
Well, I don't have that.
the self-hate.
Do you have that, John?
That's the only way I could characterize it, because otherwise by saying, oh, multiple partners or something, you know, they're not.
Yeah.
First of all,
I
the
agree
people
with
leading
you.
these sessions, I mean, I can only imagine what they look like. I doubt
not a
people are
place where
beating
you
down the
get
door
turned on.
to get into their bedroom, you know?
No. It's
So
not.
they
It's a
may wish
depressing.
they were sex
It's
addicts.
depressing. It's for sure. It's depressing. It's like a libido killer. Being in that meeting. you like don't ever want to like even walk off. It really, it is. And maybe that's the idea to like turn you off to. But
I don't believe in
maybe it has to do with the people who decide to get help on these matters. Maybe.
Well, I do think that guilt is a big part of it. And I do think that honesty, which, we practice. I like to think that Fabi and I, without knowing all of the details, practice honesty, which in my opinion is like the one safeguard. If you're honest, in advance with your partner, and if the other partners or whoever may be affected also knows everything, I feel that that's already like the beginning to health, sexual health. Because there are no secrets and there is no like deception and there is no misunderstanding, And honestly, I have found that it's easier for a woman to be honest than a man, because men are so trained to like, that women will reject them unless they present things in a certain way, right? So men are much more receptive.
Doesn't that happen sometimes?
Yeah, it happens, yeah.
I was going to say, women have like 3 truths. What are you talking about?
What are
Women
they?
can be so
What are
deceiving.
they?
There aren't specifically. Like,
okay.
It's not like women are
Like what?
they can make any situation believable.
Yeah, I don't
Women
know
are
that.
far
I'm not
more
good at that.
deceptive than men.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're deceptive, the men, no. I'm just saying that they feel that they're going to get rejected. For example, it's very
Like men are
hard
so
for a man
simple.
to say, yeah, men are simple. But like, if a man tells a woman, I'm not in love with you, but like, I'm really attracted to you and I want to be with you. But basically that's what it is. It doesn't mean that during the sex you don't feel love, because of course you feel, the intimacy during sex, it always involves true love. It just lasts the length of the sexual experience. But you can't say that to most women because they feel rejected personally. But like I can say to a man, and it's to him, it's exciting. He doesn't feel rejected.
What do you
most
say?
of the time.
I would love it if you hurt me a little bit.
No, if I say like this is only sexual.
What I've heard sometimes is that men, even both as human beings who are physical, but men are more triggered easier physically, right? While women, it's working the mind. Like there's a lot of times that a woman cannot orgasm unless she's in a specific state of mind. There's a lot of that happens. A lot of women cannot fulfill a blissful state unless they are like in their state of mind, whatever it is, that they can handle that.
Well,
While men only need stimulation, getting stimulation, physical stimulation, and no matter what it is, he's gonna come.
No, I agree. It's easier for men to come, and also, but I really think women just need to be sedated, and I don't mean medically, I mean mentally.
But that would help too.
To not contract. If their muscles are not contracting, they're fine.
I feel like CBD should be free for women.
CBD works actually. I've tried and it doesn't work very well. Does it relax for real?
Oh, totally.
Yeah?
Yeah. My dog's on it all day.
Yeah.
Your dog is on it all day.
You treat your dog with CBD.
I have not found.
I just don't like noise, so just stay quiet and sit there and wait till I play with you.
So it works.
I don't know. I don't think it doesn't make a difference to me.
Me neither.
A common friend of ours, when she went to California, she brought me back a cream or an oil that's like based on
If it's not illegal, it doesn't work.
And you put it and you massage your labia.
What about if it's decriminalized?
No, she loves it. She said that you massage your labia, or I don't know, you dick, I don't know, and it enhances the pleasure so much. And I didn't make a difference to me.
It doesn't.
Oh,
the THC, I've heard it does. I don't use it.
You try it on your labia? You try on your labia?
Only the finest products.
Touch your labia.
Touch my pants.
well, she's a fine,
No, but
she likes the finest products,
it's legalized, but the doses that are legally sold are so minimal they can't possibly have any effect. You need the other stuff. And really, it's just a form of relaxing.
Yeah, it's a form of relaxing. So for some people, I mean, I've known people who need it to have sex. It slows them down, so they don't like come in a second.
Need what? CBD or hemp in general? Weed in general. Okay.
Yeah.
Cannabis. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The THC I've seen. I've seen people put it on and then like not stop and be like, I'm just horny all the time. And I'm like, what's going on? But
It's interesting. Yeah. I didn't,
break.
maybe I didn't do it enough. Maybe you just have to keep it up.
I have a porn video on my playlist that is about a girl just pouring liquids of cannabis in, when having sex with cannabis. Like she pours all in her vagina and spread on her vagina, and then she has sex. But you can
She
see
masturbates.
How big is
no.
it?
There's a guy
then
or
the
a
guy
girl?
comes.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like a one of these cam setup, like cam girl setup.
Yeah.
So then the guy comes in, and then they start having sex. But you can see how her face started to change. Like she's getting like like you get that high face and all that.
Why would you want to
So
numb
it's
the
in the
sensation?
loop. Yeah.
It's in the
Why
loop.
would you want to
yeah.
numb the sensation?
It's not numbness.
I don't know.
It's not numbness.
No?
No, that's with
It enhances?
yeah, everything is enhanced with cannabis. I hear. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I
there
don't
is
do it, so I don't
definitely,
know.
yeah. I mean, I didn't make like such a difference to me where I would bother to look for it and remember it and, enhance it. It didn't, but, it's out there.
The one thing I've always heard about people that do enhancers while they're being sexually active is that eventually, at one point, you're going to have like this great experience. And then you're going to want them all to match that. So you're going
True.
to constantly start doing more and more and more. And you miss the simplistic,
Yeah, I agree.
pleasures of
Yeah.
natural
Yeah.
lovemaking.
Yeah. That's true.
Which I would never want to lose.
Yeah.
I truly enjoy my physical relationships, and I don't want to
Yeah.
make them.
But that
into
makes
something
sense
that they're
also,
not.
like, with everything. Like if you use
But what about the?
any,
I mean,
even like NyQuil, or whatever, and anything to relax you, you have to up the dose because you get used to it so fast. And then that means you become more and more resistant
Oh, is
or
that what-
numb.
or drop it off for a little bit until your body gives the rest of your body, and then pick it up again. I think that's more.
Who wants
Yeah.
to take breaks?
I like the natural.
I mean, you want to have
Take breaks
different
'cause you have
experience.
to.
Well, but what about different experience? It's not about taking breaks. It's about, why not? You need to take a break of things all the time. I mean, all exes are mostly bad, right? Pero, I'm not saying, go cold turkey, but a little bit to give a break a little bit and then come
What's
back.
the
I think
withdrawal
that's
phase
good.
of sex? Like being really mean to everybody.
Yeah.
The withdrawal, yeah.
I'm sure that's out there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
And,
bad, the bad
and
creepy sex.
also
What's the
stuff.
detox before the therapy session for like the sex anonymous people? What do they do?
They don't detox.
No, they don't stop for. I
I
mean,
mean,
when
they
they
can
stop,
go.
what do do?
They can go to regular rehab and just like learn how to pray and wake up early and eat at specific times and meditate, all
And
of
that's
that,
like
and have no
torture.
sex.
They can't have sex, but they
But
have to get
they-
on their knees every day.
They didn't say sex though. They said monogamous sex is what she said, right?
Right,
They
no,
can
it-
still have sex.
In the
or they have
beginning,
to.
it's no sex. You have to
Oh.
go through a period of no sex at all.
For how long?
That's the thing. Like
Long months.
Is it
I
more
mean-
I forget
no.
how long. It's months. Yeah.
You know, it's actually not healthy.
But you
for
can have
like,
like sex is
No masturbation either.
No, that must be.
It starts with no masturbation, no sex,
It's
none of it.
How about
for
can you
X
pick a
amount of
race that you've
time.
never slept with?
I love it. I know, right? All would be different if only.
I'm giving up Asians and Latinos. You know, or something like that.
I mean, well, I think that would work, but
It's all about balance.
I love it.
That's true.
Okay, so I'm going to read you some statistics and you tell me if they surprise you or not and what your response is to them because I'm so surprised. And these are like current. 52% or more of men say that they're most turned on when they see or hear the woman tells them that they're pleasing her.
Can you repeat that?
So the vast majority of men are hetero men are most turned on when the woman either comes loudly or tells them that she loves it.
Oh, yes.
52% or more of men say that they hold back sexually out of fear of looking like pervs. So these are majority numbers.
People are so repressed.
Right? 46% of men say their favorite position is woman on top. 31 doggy style. 14% missionary. Listen to this.
They're lying.
72% of men say they lost their virginity between ages 16 to 20 to a steady girlfriend. only 12% of men have had 30 or more sex partners in their lives. 48% of men say they have had only 3 partners, and they're fine with that.
Where did you get these statistics?
Do you remember the first one? Because that was so many. I thought we were going one at a time.
I do remember.
Isn't this amazing? Only 12% say that they have had 30 partners or more.
In 2019?
In 2019. I mean, it didn't give me the ages. So I was curious, like, are they,
I meant
you know,
they
are
had
they like
30
30
in
years old, or
2019
are they
only?
50 years old? Oh, he got it. John got it. I didn't get it. Yeah, that would work. 30 or more in 2019. That would work. 12% of men ages 29 to 39 are still virgins. Would you like to meet them?
I don't think that. Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
agree.
I mean, what's the universe of those statistics? Is this?
It was a big number. Like, it wasn't 1,000 men.
But is
I
this
don't
in
have it
North
in front of me.
America? Is this in the world?
No, only North America.
Only in North America.
Yeah.
Including all the big, it's like nationwide, or is this
Right.
like a small
Or is it
city
in-
in Oklahoma?
Right.
No.
Right. Yeah. That's
No,
like,
it was not a small city. For sure, it was like urban. It's supposed to be a national poll. It's, but it's,
Saying, oh yeah, we like the women on top.
yeah, I know, right?
You know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the women
Their
were there
girlfriends or
when
their
they
mothers
were.
were probably looking over their shoulder, or like got saved on the cloud and they don't want to get busted. I mean, they call it slut position for a reason. Everybody likes to face down, butt up. I mean,
Is that what it's called? I didn't know that was the slut position, but yeah.
really? What do you call it when you just
I don't
have
know.
to
What do
get
you
in your
call
position?
it?
They pull your hair back a little bit and they use you until they're finished.
What do you call
Tuesday?
that, John? I don't know. Is there a official name?
I am amazed of all this knowledge that you have. This sexual
Making it
knowledge.
up as
He's
You know,
impressed by your facility.
I am impressed by your knowledge. You know, it's
Oh no, he knows it all. He's done it all. Okay, so this
I'm
guy.
actually quite vanilla. I'm really like not as wild as I
as you come off.
come off. No.
Oh.
I'm not. This
I think
one's
he's
a wild
very
one.
wild.
I don't have a room full of toys.
You have a room full of toys.
I mean, I have a Rolodex full
I mean,
of them.
I am suspecting that you have a whole drawer at least.
Yeah, but that's professional interest also.
Yeah.
Yeah, my toys can put together a coherent sentence. Maybe one or two, but
I don't know, the one we just met, totally charming.
yeah,
Didn't
you.
speak though, but
it's better that way.
okay.
There's
So
enough people talking in my head.
that's what it is. It's the different voices. Now I understand, because I
So
always
go through
thought
which is your most interesting.
I always
or-
thought there are like at least 2 different, men in you fighting for access. So, the voice is in your head.
Wouldn't it be that as you grow older, you get more kinkier, and it's not? It happens also to the priests. As I
don't
grow
know.
older, I grow kinkier. I mean, now
Yeah.
I want to
How old
learn
are you?
shibari. I want to learn
Yeah.
shibari. I want
Yeah.
What's shibari?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
And
Well,
why is
you
he doing
should.
those
I know
hand
people who
movements?
teach it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that because it's not enough.
It's the
YouTube
Japanese rope binding.
Bondage.
Ooh, it's so. I mean,
Oh, I have two
but
friends that know
visually,
how to do
you
that.
know,
I can't
visually,
do that.
visually, yeah.
it's exquisite.
You just want to photograph them, right?
I want to do that and then photograph them, but not necessarily.
I don't know. Someone else can photograph them when you're
No, I
there.
can do it. I mean, I would like to maybe if the person
I have a friend who
concedes, like
from New York who used to live in the penthouse of this building in Chelsea, and he would tie them up in the most elegant way on the rooftop.
Wow.
And then leave them there, and then go run errands for the day, and then come back at night, and then
well, that's kidnapping, primo, almost.
I mean,
No.
I mean, it's not against their will, right?
No. If you're in that scene,
Yeah.
so
You
huh?
sign the
But
waiver.
it's the whole thing. They signed
Yeah.
the waiver. I love it, but I mean, I have to check on
I
that
agree.
too.
I think
like
that's a
the
very good
waivers.
point. That and we should all be open to that truth, right? That I agree. I think that as we grow older, we get kinkier because we've already done a lot of the basics, and also like your,
Never done anything kinky.
your sexual urge changes.
here.
Like
Get out of here.
before, like when you're young, you walk into a room and you get hard, I guess, if you're a guy, or wet if you're a girl, just, visually. But as you get more and more experience and you get older, right, you get aroused by new things that you haven't tried, that
Or
you want to
seen.
try, or seen. Yeah.
Or experienced or felt.
And actually,
Definitely.
I do think that BDSM with all of its subcultures, and they're endless, it's a place where a lot of people go in later age, and then like stay there in retirement.
I said swingers party are usually older people who do the swingers parties and the big orgies.
Yeah. And swappers, also you have,
Never been.
oh,
I don't have to have secrets. I've never done it.
yeah.
I mean, I believe that you have never done it. That's okay.
I
That's
got
totally
close to
valid.
going once. One of my best friends, we would get these invitations to some eyes wide shut situation, gorgeous house.
Yeah, that's
costumes
what it is. Yeah,
required,
it's a private house.
thousands of dollars per ticket, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was such a production because we had to
Killing
create it.
kittens, some of them are called.
That's
Go
the
ahead.
one.
Yeah. Killing
That's
kittens.
so weird.
Hey, I've been around, I guess.
Oh my God. So we're like, should we go? Should we? And we had to make this all, now you'll know I didn't go. So I had to hire somebody to create an email, to do a thing, I had to put because I didn't want my name on it. I wanted it to be
funny.
I was like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know who's there. And everyone says things are anonymous and this, whatever. Today, everyone's so full of shit. As soon as they,
I think it's safe
I don't trust anyone.
because
And I
they
don't
have
care.
a lot to
I don't
lose
think
too.
I don't think it's anonymous. I think when you do these kind of things, you have to be ready.
I don't
to be
believe in
open
lists. I
about
don't
it
believe in
and be
memberships.
even-
I'm not getting into anything.
Okay.
So, but anyway, we kind of were like, all right, let's try it. She just got divorced. I was home alone for the summer. I'm like, I'll be your date. Let's go check it out. Something weird happened and something came up, or a different party with just our real friends, and we kind of like couldn't make it, or something happened and we just didn't go. And then I was like, I think the idea of going is going to be far more entertaining in my mind than if we actually went, because I really don't know. Have you ever been to one of these things?
I have.
Have you been to the one I just referenced?
I'm not gonna.
You won't confirm or
I
deny?
won't confirm or deny. No.
Oh, don't be a pussy.
Well, maybe you have been there in spirit.
Don't be a kitty. Come on.
Yeah,
I haven't. I will say I won't have it.
You haven't?
I haven't.
Oh no, he's lying.
What about you? What is your experience?
I think I still have the email, so I could find out.
Well, I think it's pretty safe. First of all, you start, I don't know how you got into it, but like the way I know is that you start on a website, which is
Didn't
anonymous.
start. You get the email. They invite you. They
Right.
Someone chooses you and sends you an invite.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. There is that too. So the ones that are
I don't
by
troll the web. I don't even use my phone.
The ones that are by invitation only, are a little more, I would say, a little more iffy. And I haven't done that unless it's girls only, or unless
here's
I
the way I
know,
think about it.
Otherwise, I wouldn't go by
There's-
invitation only
there's a
unless it's like my
suggested-
best friend who tells me
So
everything.
which one have you gone? Have you been to?
What I've experienced, based for research, is setting up the
You
profile.
work so hard.
I
Yeah,
do.
your contribution to society
the
is
way
so
you work it.
important. Thank you.
I know.
No
Someone
diggity.
has to.
Definitely.
I have to speak sex about it. But anyway, so make a profile, which you can do anonymously, and you can have photos of you, but without headless,
You can't.
right? And in the photos, you can like
There's
delete
IP
your
addresses
tattoos
to
and all this
everything.
stuff.
You can't do any of this.
So,
You need a whole full Photoshop then.
you can do it. It's so easy.
Okay,
You
so-
just take like Facetune.
She's
and
vain
delete
like
it.
that. Look at all the people she lets tattoo her. Every single letter is someone she's had to research.
Every single letter is a memory.
yeah.
Yeah. A memory of like certain.
She's making la cadena.
I am. That's the plan.
The one issue I
my
have with these
deathbed,
things that are
I'm
so
covered.
expensive is that I'm thinking, okay, how many young attractive people can afford the price tag?
I know,
I
that's
don't
the
wanna be in a
problem.
room with
Yeah.
like
Yeah. No, the
weird
ones I'm talking about,
retirees,
you don't have to
you know?
pay. And the
No,
ones I'm
stick
talking
me in a
about, A,
trailer
you
park.
do not have to pay, and B, there are a lot of like wealthy people, and it happens in their apartment, or like they rent a penthouse in a local hotel. You see what they look like, and there are comments from other people who've gone to their parties. You friend other people, you find out who else is going. So like you can say, oh, okay, this cute couple, who is going, let's meet up first at a bar and talk to each other and like see them face to face. And then there is a lot of sex tourism. So a lot of people, a lot of couples, especially in Miami, a lot of like young couples, they come here, they want to like hook up. So they go to the site and they see what parties. And then
They
again,
just want free drinks.
no. They want to swap. They want to have sex with other
Swing. They want to swing.
swing.
Do you swing?
I don't. What it swing entails? You have to be like married or at least
No.
with a partner, and then
Yeah.
change the
Yeah.
partner. I haven't swing.
Free
no.
for all, everyone plays.
No, I haven't
Here they have labels. In
swing.
Brazil, it's just called the underground. In Israel, it's the underground disco, you know?
There's a game where you write down 10 of your fantasies each, and you put them in capital letters, and you put them like in a ball or something, right? In 10 pieces of paper each. So you have like 20, and then you pick one each time you're going to have sex, and you do whatever that fantasy is, no question asked.
So that's
That's
kind
a
of-
good way to spice up
That's
a
like a
marriage.
theory
or-
more on spicing up or enhancing something or rekindling
Right.
a situation that might have dizzled or whatever that word is. Frizzled, dizzled,
Frizzled.
fizzled out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I speak
Fizzled
three
out.
languages.
I like the drizzle though.
But I think let's just simplify sex as an activity that is very important to your daily lifestyle, right? Like athletes train, you work out, you run, you do it every day. It's not like you have a new running routine, right? So my opinion for people to maintain their sexual relationship and never lose it is never stop it. People let life get in the way of keeping their sex life active and a priority. And then they find difficulties getting back to it.
You're right about that.
So just
that's
don't
so
stop.
true. I
It
agree.
doesn't have to be write lists of crazy exotic situations. Who has time for that shit? Don't stop.
Well, people who like feel that, they want to save a relationship or a marriage, I think that that's a good way to do it because you want to see the partner in a totally new light. So it makes you feel that you're a new person that you didn't know about,
but
and
those
also like sex
situations
in
don't
public
last.
or having other people desire either partner makes them newly desirable.
But you can't just start doing that. If you've been together 20 years and all of a sudden you're like, let's go have sex in public and that'll change our life.
20
No.
years.
If you've had sex,
20 years. The other day,
I'm a little bit older than you.
I was your way. The other day I was having dinner and with a friend and I saw this couple next to me and all the time that I was there, they did not direct a word to each other. And I wonder myself, is that what 20 years
Wow.
of marriage looks like? They did not say a word to each other. And you can tell that these people were married for a long time, that they knew each other
I
for a
can
long
tell
time.
you-
So the question is, what do you do in those instances? Like you said, like, oh, you're gonna, after 20 years, you're gonna start doing this shit. Like,
I don't know that I would try to stunt it with new scenarios. I would try to rekindle the original fire and start from there. But I honestly,
But easy,
how long was your longest
I know,
relationship?
easier to say
my
than
longest
do it.
relationship,
And that
20
question goes for you too.
22 years and going.
Oh, no. He means when you monogamous, having sex
Right.
with that person.
The same
only.
person, only one person,
Only.
That's,
only with that
How
person.
convenient.
that's being
No.
very technical and
Yeah,
not a fair
technical.
question.
No,
Technical.
no. What do you mean? It's not. I'm
Because
saying
that's-
no. It's
I'm going to explain. I get what you're saying. It's not a real question. It
why
doesn't
it's
work.
not. Explain me why it's not.
Because
Because
he's
it's too
not,
basic
because
and
he's
it
not
doesn't work.
monogamous. That's why.
It's,
Okay,
but
Period.
there's a difference between being monogamous and faithful. And
I agree with that.
Okay.
But-
Explain
it's
the
not
difference.
That, and I will.
Explain the
And it's
difference.
not that after 10 years, you change and all of a sudden start doing something else. That's unfaithful to who you presented yourself as in the beginning. In the beginning, if you said, look, this is what I see in my future. This is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I'm into. There is no changing me.
Right, but most people
Let's enjoy
change
life.
with age. So
I don't
after like
think they
10 years
change
with
with
someone,
age.
you're
I
not going to
don't-
want the same things that you said you
That's
wanted.
a different
Let me-
scenario.
let me-
The relationship might change because there's different elements where from the beginning, they weren't honest with each other. And over time, things became more and more obvious. And then the relationship dies.
Right. But
I agree
having
with
like
that.
a marriage or
Right, I'm
a
talking about a
relationship.
traditional non-monogamous. I mean,
He's talking about
So
traditional-
mine is one of the
monogamous.
most
Yeah.
traditional. Your version or
No,
your
he's
text.
talking
not my
about
version. The
monogamous.
social,
That's what
the social
that's what people have,
definition, not
Right.
mine.
Right,
The
not
social
mine.
But
definition.
which social? Because I will
the
tell you.
prevalent dominant social
We're living here
definition.
right now.
No.
Not
Yeah.
not the Mormons or.
I understand the
not
question, and I'm not speaking for the Mormons. I'm saying
We know that.
Not the Mormons in
say
Utah.
a traditional marriage or a traditional relationship, I am more aligned with the historical values, traditions, and beliefs of a traditional marriage or relationship for that matter than what you're saying, the social interpretation of it. And by saying the social acceptance or social version or whatever, you're meaning the mass population. The mass population is not the prevalent or more important. Literally, you can take the entire lot of them and their voice doesn't matter as much as the actual few that know what the fuck they're doing, right?
Okay, but what we're saying is
I
the
am.
question is not how long have you had a relationship that allows you to have sex
That was the
outside
question.
of it.
No, that wasn't the question.
Well, we can have both. We
The
can say
question
how
was,
long
what
we
is your
have each
longest
been.
relationship?
No, we can say
Then
how
you
long we've
started
had.
adding the hashtag.
No, he did. His question is how long we have had a monogamous relationship, period. And then we can also say how long we have had a non-monogamous relationship, if you want.
You can also say that, pero I am more focused on
You guys are too into the
rekindling.
labels.
No, the thing is that I'm more
Because
focused.
I would say,
Well,
how
I
long
am-
have you had an honest
Pero
relationship?
hold on a second. Because my question is coming from the fact that you are with one person. I mean, parting from the premise that you are with that sole person, one person, having sex only with that person for
How long?
7, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40 years. How do you cope with that?
That's the question.
That is the question.
The
Well, I mean, I understand what you're telling me. I understand how you are, your relationship, and that's what I ask. If you had a monogamous long-term relationship with only one partner, that you only slept with that one partner, how long was it? How long could you put up
I
with
can give you an example.
before you understood your ways?
You're giving me a
I
completely
have
different
an
question at this
answer.
point.
He doesn't, because he would go like days. Okay, right? Days, maybe?
No, because you're asking an entirely different question.
No.
Yeah,
me,
that's the
simple
question.
question. No, my
Honest and
question was
traditional,
simple.
to my understanding of traditional, is one question. How long? What's the longest relationship someone can be with one person and last?
I didn't say someone. I said you're specific and you're also.
I'll tell you my number.
But
I
this
know my
goes
number.
back to, this is like having me answer a question almost sounding like my original answer wasn't correct. If we had started a conversation with, do I believe in monogamy?
Well, I
would've
didn't
said
know.
no.
Okay, so first of all, I didn't know that you were non-monogamous. First of all, and I asked you that question, and it's not that your previous answer was wrong. It's just that I'm specifying now.
However, I do believe in being faithful. And while you're in a relationship with somebody that you may have a very intense, what might be perceived as a monogamous situation, I don't believe in stepping out on that relationship. I think that if it's discussed and allowable, you can introduce other elements to your relationship. But
Other
you have
people.
to,
He's
you
talking
have to
about-
have done that.
Not elements
It
like
could be elements in
pantyhose.
Toys.
He's not
Other
talking about
people.
lingerie.
But there's people that want to take out a box of toys. There's people that are afraid to say what they
but
really want.
you are not one of those people.
But I don't live in a cookie cutter box.
No.
And
That's why
I
we
make
love
sure
you.
it's clear from day one.
Yes.
This is what I think is healthiest
Agreed.
for life. This is why I smile and my skin looks the way it does. And I enjoy my days, you know?
He does have nice skin.
But it's a different question.
So
Well,
he's an advertisement
people
for
that have-
non-monogamy.
But it comes with a lot of responsibility of fidelity, loyalty, and honesty. And a lot of people don't have the balls for that.
I agree
Honestly,
100% with you.
mostly.
Now,
The rest,
I am thinking about the people who are not wired for non-monogamous relationship, who are on the other side thinking, what the fuck am I gonna do? How the fuck do I change this experience or this situation where I'm at, where I love my partner, I have a great time with my partner, I laugh with my partner, I can watch and we have the same thing, but
right? And they
I'm
have
tired.
intimacy and trust and like a history that matters.
I want to see and feel another
Another-
different
exactly.
body, a
Chances
different thing,
are-
a different
Chances
stuff.
are your
So
partner
how-
is
or
in this-
not.
What's
or
your
not.
longest?
What is your thing?
John, what's your longest?
My longest monogamous relationship was 9 years.
Well, good for you.
It was 9 years with 1 year there off, at the beginning. Pero living in with a partner was 5 years. Living and seeing the same person for every day was for 5 years.
boy or girl.
It was a girl. It was a girl. And, there's a time where things change. Like you said,
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
10 years,
Yeah.
you kind of like,
That's how I feel.
There's a
Like
shift
I have had like
of how you feel in
I have
things.
had like maybe 3 long-term relationships, and there were 7 years each. And out of those 7 years, there were years of monogamy. I mean, with the in between. But yeah, then you get to that stage where it becomes like brother and sister.
yes.
And you can't get out of it,
Our
If
both lives are
suddenly
But you
it's
do
like
know that's
incest.
illegal, right?
She said like,
So this guy says the following. Okay, this is so interesting to me. We started with it, and then we didn't really go back to it. But he says women are so conditioned to hold back in bed out of fear of appearing too easy. The thing most women fear the most is to seem easy or slutty. They'll say no to what they really want, and they'll ask you to drop them off at home when they actually want you to go in with them and take them to bed and ravish them. So their bodies tell you that's what they want, but their mouths tell you no. I'm not ready yet. It's not where I'm at. It's a mindfuck that women do to themselves and to the men who like and want them. And it's the worst cock blocking because, because even 2 years before, he says, right, all this is quotes, I would have pushed her harder, turned her on more, making out. But nowadays, men are more paranoid. We don't know which one will turn out to be the one who will cry rape or STD when she's simply not sure what she wants because, her body wants one thing and then her mind or whatever it is tells her she shouldn't or she doesn't because she doesn't want to look easy. So again, he, like most of these guys who are asked, say that the most exciting thing is when a woman asks a man for sex or takes control and makes the proposition.
first of all, I think that's a social conditioning. I mean, definitely, I believe that's a social conditioning that holds them back, holds women, because this is how they say where you were reading. They don't want to be perceived as easy. Perceived by who? Perceived by the guy, perceived by society. A lot has to do by what
The greater, it's not just him.
the others
Right.
are gonna say, your
Right.
friends.
Or like herself or like her idea of like her parents in her head or whatever.
Parents,
right?
social conditioning, like you've been
Right.
conditioned, like, oh, you don't give, don't give in so easily,
Right. Yeah.
The world, it's become more open. I think the social networks.
What's a typical insecurity for a guy, would you say? Like he mentions one, the one he mentions here is that he doesn't want to like push the way he used to before, I assume, Me Too. He doesn't say Me Too, but I'm just going to add that. Because of that extra kind of fear that it will be, considered,
that's circumstantial. That's now, men are more like, asking for permission more.
Yeah, which is good.
Like,
I think it's really good, personally.
Right. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Pero
so
in the past, insecurities of men, usually insecurities not to perform well or not to be able to give an orgasm to that partner, not to make her, not to perform and
it must suck to have a small penis
and look bad around the partner, or someone. Those are the things that give insecurity.
Yeah, like not last long, I
or
guess.
Bad sex. Like sometimes
lose
you
your
don't.
erection before you're done.
Sometimes no. Well, yeah, and sometimes you don't connect with that person. Like sometimes there's no connection.
Yeah, sometimes there is no chemistry.
Like there's sometimes no chemistry. Things fail. And it's like, whoa, what is it? I'm not being me or whatever. And then you look wrong or you look bad or it was really bad and you're like leaving, or the next day you're leaving or going away, like, oh man, this is not how I perform. This is definitely not me. And then it's like, what was it? Was it this? Was it that? I don't know about small penises.
He wants to make that clear right now.
I don't know.
For the record,
different.
Dominicans and Puerto Ricans do not have problems in the locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there is like.
I always say I'm not unpopular.
Yeah, have Puerto Ricans and Dominicans have a rep of being
good lovers,
ravishing lovers.
Right. Like, yeah, forceful in a hopefully positive.
But that's the thing.
Passionate.
A lot of being a good lover is confidence.
Like missionaries of sex.
I like missionary
Position.
but yes, and
Because you get deep.
I can get deep more
think
if
it's
I
nice
put it.
to have a little bit of
doggy
moments like
style.
that.
Doggy style gets more deep.
So you like the face to face.
It varies.
There's a love
it varies the
connection with the
person,
missionary,
I think.
you know?
It
You look
varies
into
the
each other's
person.
eyes, you fall in love,
yeah,
you make out a
exactly.
little bit, and then who the fuck are you kidding? Get to work. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really.
I would
depends.
There's everything. There's
For your
everything.
listeners, that there's this whole thing you mentioned. If they don't last long enough and stuff like that, I think that a lot of people lack communication in their relationships because you might be surprised at what your partner's into. I mean, you might be dating the biggest cum slut in town and they want you to come faster. They literally, that's fuel for them. They'd rather rinse and repeat than be used and abused for hours and get one little doggy treat.
But also
No, I
people
agree.
don't want
I
to
agree
tell
with
you
you.
necessarily. They want you to discover. Or some
Well,
people
that's
want
what-
to explore
Or-
and
That's
find
why I
out.
call- yeah,
No, they don't want to
explore-
tell you.
No,
they
but
just want to
not
explore
necessarily
or
on the
let
first
you
time,
like,
but I'm talking in relationships. The first time, the first few times, okay.
You're just
You're
exploring.
feeling each other's
The
out.
First
You're
few times,
exploring.
you're
Yeah.
just exploring.
But then you have to lead your lovers. You have to grow your partner. You have to
Well-
figure this out.
Well, yeah.
If you want it to last.
Well, yeah, definitely. If
And people have to have the conversations. And it's not saying
Yeah.
this
Well,
is what I
that's
want,
what
this is
we're
what I want.
about. That's
because
what we're
there's some
talking
people
about,
who
is
want to
the
be told what to do.
conversation.
There's other people that want to, beg
Yeah.
for it. There's other people. There's every scenario.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so just
Absolutely.
keep
Build that
asking.
out. So it's very
Absolutely.
difficult
You
to
have to
say.
ask, do you
Absolutely,
like this?
absolutely.
What do you want?
Or-
More of
absolutely.
that?
Or pay attention.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, if you
Pay
care,
attention.
if you care,
pay
enough,
attention. I think that for men, a lot has to do to pay attention. Paying
Like
attention.
read her.
Like, not
right?
all women are the same. And
Oh,
just
not
for the
at
women,
all.
not all men are the same.
Not at all.
So when you go to the the relationship or the sexual relationship, there's the men and the women in the relationship. Let's just, for all 2019 intensive purposes, call them the one who enters and the one who's entered, or the top or the bottom in the
Okay.
relationship, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
have to be male, both female.
No.
But there's the one who the one who penetrates the other. Now, when you are literally planting your seed inside somebody, you are possessing them. You're,
yeah.
You're infusing them with your
DNA.
Your
DNA.
You're owning them. You know?
Yeah.
And some people want it to be gentle. Some people want it to be rough. Some people, and you have to figure out where that person is, what they want, what turns them on. And you have to be, and I don't want to say aggressive, because the aggression is in the brevity. You have to be brave to be honest about how, if you want to do it and scream at while you're doing it, if you want to be loud, if you want to be quiet, if you just want to shut their mouth and keep them down. Whatever turns you on, chances are, if they let themselves go a little bit and they like you enough in it and they allow themselves to be free in the situation, they'll meet you halfway. And it's just going to be amazing.
But it's also important to try different things out because you never know either side. You just don't know. These two particular bodies may have much better chemistry in one way or another than anyone else you've been with before.
When you
so
say,
like saying, 3 lovers ago, I never like XYZ. Well, with this lover, you actually may love it because it all changes. So just try things, different orgasms, different positions, different, intensities, the hand, like every body part, if you pay attention and don't do it unconsciously, can vary so much, in sexual use. So I feel like being aware and being conscious and kind of like giving it your all is the best way to go about it. I'm just saying that if people want to read the books or take the classes, that's much better than not doing nothing.
But that's playing Pictionary on a Thursday. That's an extra fun situation. That's not meant to be what you want to express in your relationship or try as a new thing. When you're talking about try a new thing, from puberty, you've been absorbing all the sexual energies and tensions around you in your life. You've been hearing stories. You've been watching movies. You've been hearing friends vent. You've been hearing it all. So some parts of that excite your fantasies. So when you say try something new, you have to be brave enough to represent your fantasies in the relationship and say, I thought about walking into a room of strangers and letting them have at us. Or I've thought about us making out in a room and just letting people service us and then get us into position and finish ourselves and start with people, end up together. Or you can come up with a whole bunch of things that might have turned you on in a wet dream. That's the different stuff that you should try. I don't know you should take a textbook and try someone else's fantasies because they've been tried and studied.
Like I've heard,
you can do it.
I hear, for instance, that there's plenty of women that enjoy watching gangbang porn.
Yes, because they secretly want it.
Pero when I talk to people or to women about it, they say, well, or some, like I've encountered some people who told me, well, yeah, I like to watch it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I want to be in that situation.
Right. She's only saying that because
No,
I agree.
So.
No, I believe women. Believe women, Fabian. Believe women.
I believe women too.
Believe women. Yeah.
I believe that too.
I think
because there is, how you can take.
I would like to believe people, but I also know when people are full of shit.
Well,
no, but you know how you can take your eyes away from the scene of an accident.
Introduce me to the person.
You know how you want to watch a crash, right? Or there is an element of just watching the grotesque. It doesn't mean that necessarily you want to be in it. You're just fascinated by the fact that it even is happening. Yeah. Right. So if someone watches a video of a horse, doing a guy, for example, it doesn't mean that he wants to go to the stables and replicate that. It's just the grotesqueness of it.
The uncommon, it's an uncommon thing to see. It's
you just
an
can't
uncommon thing
take
to
your
watch.
eyes away because it's so...
Gangbang is an uncommon thing to watch?
Maybe not in your case, pero
I never belonged to a fraternity, but I hear that's the thing.
Yeah?
No, it's very uncommon.
I don't know.
No, I think it's very uncommon to actually practice.
Right, I don't...
Yeah. Not to watch, but to practice for sure. Yeah.
Really?
And I think women are more... up to do it if they get paid, in the porn business.
Yeah, in the porn business.
For this amount of money.
Do you know who my neighbor was in LA?
Wait. Gina Jameson.
Yeah, how'd you know? How did you know?
That's good.
I don't know.
This is psychic.
I have magic.
That's really
cool. I have something.
Yeah.
I have something. Oh, so you live in a bougie neighborhood because Gina Jameson is loaded.
Oh, he's bougie, if you haven't noticed
bougie.
yet.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand the definition of the word bougie. That's an insult for people with money.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Ooh, okay.
Okay, so let's take it back to what we're talking about. Yeah, I think that, I personally do not know a single woman. I don't know a single woman who likes that in actual life. I don't know a single woman who would like that in in actual life. And I know
Right.
a lot,
Pero they
thousands
watch
of
it.
people.
Pero they watch
But yeah, exactly. So that's the difference. I mean, it's a different thing to have like a threesome. And
I think
but
that a
it's very
lot of
different
porn,
Have you ever had a
a lot of
gangbang?
people, I think a lot of people, we watch porn in order to see this different situation without us putting ourselves in those situations. Like there are sections that is like wild and adventurous and shit, and you want to see. Like,
Well, you want to see it because it's there. Like, I don't think that I would, miss it if I didn't see some of the stuff that's there. But once you see that it's there and you see the title, like, of course you want to see it out of like basic curiosity, right? But I don't think that that's the same as like wanting to run out there and create
dress
a
up like a
situation.
Smurf, right? For
Yeah,
instance.
like the fairies. The fairies.
Right, yeah.
Dress up as a fairy animal and talk as if you're an animal. Sounds
Role
and
playing,
right?
and
All that role
yeah.
play. Yeah, all of that stuff. It's actually a bigger commitment. So you have to have like some sort of psychological release and joy from enacting only that. It's the one thing that gives you permission, let's say, to be an animal or a fairy animal or a pet animal in pet play or whatever, you make.
You guys lost me.
Even like rape play, right? So, rape play is kind of like replicating what porn does, but it's fake. It could be like husband and wife and they stage it. So you can pretend to have all kinds of stuff, but actually, doing it, I think,
It's a
is
different,
not so attractive.
there is right.
Got there and she came over one day, I think borrowing sugar or something. So we invited her.
What? No.
I swear to God, we invited her to Thanksgiving.
No, I don't believe you. Gina Jameson
invite
came
her?
to get sugar at your
I
house.
here for Thanksgiving.
She went.
With my parents.
Oh my
No.
My
God.
friend and her mom and my
No.
mom, one of my best friend's moms and my dad
No.
were cooking. And cause we're in LA, it's like 4 or 5 of us family. And then we invite like 100 people to the house because we feed anyone who doesn't have a family and they're friends with us, or we invite them over. So we cook for 100 people. And she
Gina
came
Jameson
over-
came asking for sugar.
Can we stop saying that name on the internet?
All
She
right.
comes over and needed to borrow milk or sugar or something very right out of the Girl Next Door.
Next
movie.
door, right?
Oh my God, that's the beginning of
By
like
the way-
every porn
by the
scenario.
way-
That's
the
what she
way-
was said.
Cutest girl ever. Not when you think.
What year was this?
Pause. Can I?
Yeah, you
You're getting
finished.
so
but
excited.
Yeah, he wants to know
want
what
to
stage.
I want to get the
10
stage.
years ago because
Okay.
I moved here
All
10
right.
years
All
ago.
right.
So
all
11
right.
years ago.
All right.
So she comes in and we're all there. We're prepping up for the next day. We're cooking. We're like, why don't you come over? And so she comes over. She had just moved in. She's getting organized. She comes over. And all of a sudden, and we don't know who anyone is, especially in that world. We just don't know. And we're all having dinner. And some of my friends come up to me and are like, why is that person here? How do you know that person? I'm like, who? Oh, she lives, she's 2 houses
So
down.
and so,
Not so-and-so. I don't know her name. She's the cute girl who lives 2 houses down. We don't know who she is. No one knows who she is. We're not like that. Like, I mean, there's a lot
I mean,
of relevant
Fabian,
people.
by this time, this woman
Doesn't-
has. By this time,
I
this
wouldn't have
woman-
known her either. I
She
would
has
not
a
have known her.
network. She has a whole network.
You might
Yes,
know
my
the
love,
name
but I
because
would
you
not-
watch
I
porn.
know
Not
the
even
name.
the name. Like she.
Pause.
Like,
You might know the
she's
name because
retired.
You would not know. I went to the retirement party. That's where I went to. We went to Vegas for the last thing they did. But this is because we just met. So,
I don't know what she looks like even now.
and by the way,
No idea. I'll
I'm
have to
telling
Google
you,
her.
after I saw, so let me explain what happened. Stop getting ahead of yourself, Mr. Excited.
I mean, you're
By the way,
talking
she's
about a
dating a guy
legend.
4 times your size, and he would have kicked your ass in a second. A WWF wrestler, I don't even know his name, Tito or Ty, some crazy name. This guy was insane. Anyway,
So she came with that husband to the.
he was away on some fight. She was by
Okay.
herself. So like, my mom smokes. She's like, come over. Like, we're just hanging out. We're cooking. She comes in. A couple of my friends come over and they're like, why is so-and-so here at Thanksgiving with, I'm like, oh, she just moved into the neighborhood. She's here. She's very nice. Do you know who she is, right? I'm like, no. Why? I'm like, I couldn't tell you like who anyone is. And they're like, let me show you something. And first they tell me that this person's a porn star. Then I'm like, no, come on. Because when you see this person, she's just so polite, so beautiful, but really cute.
So what does it mean that being porn?
So
That's what I'm
showed
saying,
you-
the misconception.
I did some photo shoots for a few weeks, and then I learned like I learned that life or how it is, the industry, like the startup industry, how it starts and how it comes. It's just like the best way that I could describe that experience is watching this film, Hot Girls Want It.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's Rashida Jones. It's a film that Rashida Jones produced.
Okay.
I don't know if she directed, but she produced it, and it talks about the porn industry, the startup porn industry here in South Florida. Like, this is the first place that you start in that industry. Like, if you make it in LA, it's because it's like when you went mainstream, like you made it big.
Okay, got you. So you
their
start here,
they come here for a week or 2 weeks, and they make whatever they make, 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand throughout the week. Then they go, usually it's Midwestern, with Midwestern girls, people from the Midwest, and a lot of times are girls who have had issues.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm not saying all the time,
Right.
but a lot of times it's either they had rough childhood, they've been abused,
or abused,
they've been
sexualized,
super young, abused. A lot of them have a big drug of choice, a lot of times alcohol,
a lot of them
like that will make
Yeah.
him. Like, literally, I will see girls that sometimes they'll be like in the morning, like, don't talk to me, like, and then the director will get him a vodka or something, and they'll be like, woo, it was like a switch, like,
There's something in the vodka.
Probably.
I guess, I don't know. But it could be that with any other drugs, right? And it was a very interesting experience, because I got the time to unfetishize or unfantasize, like bring reality to what the industry is, that it has its struggles, like, doesn't mean that there are bad, like, porn stars or people do porn. They're not, it's not that they're bad people. Like, I understand they're awesome people.
You're talking about a lot of people that lend themselves to porn or sex professions. I'm talking about the porn stars. Stars are the best. They're amazing. There's a difference.
You're saying that, I'm telling you, the difference is that you're telling me the end, or like the end of the career, or the overall the career, and I'm telling you how it starts, the beginnings.
But I'm disagreeing. Moms with kids that raise good households, put their kids in private school, and they actually can separate their sex life from their personal life, and they can create an industry around that, and they can not feel guilty about what they do. In fact, they can feel pride in what they can create using what they have. These girls are a completely different level marketed. Like,
well, I have to say that
you're talking about
think
the seedy porn industry, which I agree with.
I personally disagree. I'm just going to say for the record that I think it's unhealthy for anyone to use their vagina as the source of their career. There is no way that makes for a healthy psychosexual existence.
But you're saying it because that's the most honest of them. But girls have been using their vaginas for their career since they started having them.
Okay, well,
you're not going to disagree with that,
no,
are you?
I am going to disagree with that. There is a huge difference if, back in the day, you try to get like the best candidate who will marry you. So you try to be like attractive or whatever and get,
or
the
fuck
best
the director
husband.
to get on a movie as an extra.
Okay, that is as an extra.
Label it as you will. Those are the whores.
No slow shaming.
The ones that
not slow shaming.
The ones that own their
not
production
slow shaming,
rights.
Fabian. No slow
baby.
shaming. We don't slow shame in Six Peak.
You know, you're the second or third person on this show that says
every time
slut-shaming?
he comes here, we tell him the same thing. We do not
slut
shame.
Oh, there are no rules that apply to me.
Well,
Okay.
Good luck.
okay,
Well,
that's
we're
But
just
you
fine.
can say
Pero-
that.
This is an
They
open
believe
debate.
in not
Say it,
calling
pero-
spade a spade. It's on the record.
Okay.
Not slut
But so
shaming.
you know,
we do
used
not.
car salesmen are called used car. That quote when they go used car salesmen.
What does that mean?
I
Explain
even know.
to me.
Those
I don't
silly
know.
hustlers that'll tell you anything. They'll sell their mothers. They'll do anything
Oh,
to
okay.
make the sale.
Yeah,
Okay, can
They
I
call
say-
them
okay.
used car salesmen.
Let's go back. Let's backtrack.
just to make it even. It's the same as the girls sleeping their way to the top.
Okay, so first of all, a girl, it's it's an extreme generalization, right? Because someone may have done that.
Someone. It's only been a small number. I agree.
Small number.
I'm completely being sarcastic.
Oh, I think it's a small number, and I think that a lot of them don't quite know what they're doing because they're young. A lot of them are being taken advantage of. They think that
Their
they can handle
moms
it,
taught them.
and then they find out they cannot handle it. They think that maybe they can handle it, and then they are scarred and have to deal with recovery for a long time because so I think that it takes a certain degree of unhealthy separation from your sexual body in order to be whatever it is. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy I think that porn is not healthy for the women who learn from it.
I don't think
I definitely don't think it's
You're
healthy.
generalizing and you're supporting the masses of people that are in it for the wrong reasons. The ones that own their rights, that chose to get into
Come on,
it at
let's
a
say
later
Stormy
stage in their
Daniels,
life.
whom we all know. So everybody
Stormy
out there now
Daniels
knows
is not
Stormy
a porn
Daniels.
star. She's a cheap trailer trash slut.
She's
No
known
slut
as a
shaming.
porn. No slut
slut shaming
shaming.
here. No slut shaming here.
Okay.
I think
She's
okay.
known
So
as a porn star.
all right.
If you Google
So-
porn star now,
She's
it's
not.
Stormy Daniels,
That's
right?
because that's how her
That's
publicist
the name
labeled
everybody
her.
knows, even people who don't watch porn.
That's how
even
her
they know her
publicist
without their
By
name.
the way,
Right now,
after this
they
whole
don't know her.
debacle, you know she was still selling her body in Hollywood or whatever.
No, I know. She said that she
She's
charged
not a porn
more
star.
money having.
She's a crazy.
No slut
disillusion.
shaming. No
no
slut
slut
shaming.
shaming.
No slut shaming.
Okay, but
Would
we
you like me to
understand.
start correcting you?
No, I'm not correcting you. I'm
am
just
not.
okay. So I'm not
You're
correcting you.
calling
I'm
it
just
slut
putting.
shaming, I'm speaking truth.
All right.
It's
So
my opinion.
I'm making a statement, and there's not slow shaming.
No, you're making a rule.
You can.
I will say anything I want at any time of day. If you want me to stop talking, I can excuse myself.
No,
I don't. You don't have
We
to.
want
You don't have
This
to.
is a
You
debate.
just. But have certain boundaries
He's
on
just-
how you
no,
talk.
You don't have to.
I don't know
you
you,
don't have to
and there
censor
isn't a
him.
world.
Well, I'm not censoring him, but I want.
There isn't a
at
world
least
that
I
you're
want.
gonna give me boundaries.
I want.
I agree. I don't want to censor anyone. We should all speak our language, and he speaks a language that many people speak, whom he represents right now. So
That's
it's such
fine.
a
I also
fit.
don't agree with.
That's
because by the
that's
way,
fine,
all the
pero
people that say
I don't think it's
these
fair.
political statements, I honestly don't think that in their lifetime they've actually not
Had a moment.
hypocritical at some point.
Yeah, we've all been
So-
hypocritical.
Sorry, I'm not full of shit.
I agree. Can I say something? There is nothing worse than sinners blaming other sinners. Words are not actions. That's why we're debating, right? We respect each other's point of view because no one is actually doing anything. We're just
I might respect
talking.
the fact that you have a point of view. I don't know
Right.
that I respect your point of view.
Yeah, because you don't have to agree with each other. But that doesn't mean that you don't have legitimate
And I'm not being
voices.
mean. I'm just making sure she doesn't misrepresent me.
Well, I'm fine with that, and I'm okay if you don't have the same point of view.
Good.
I just
Thank you.
feel that in the conversation, let's be a little bit more.
But I understand where you're
Nuance.
coming from and what you say. And new is not in my vocabulary. And being corrected by someone I don't know is not going to happen. Now, if you're someone that I really care about and respect the opinions of, and I've seen you actually becomes in life something that I can look up to. And you pulled me aside and said, hey,
But
babe,
I don't have to
let's
prove
get around, let's get
myself for you to respect my opinions.
In my world, you do. You can't just have one.
Okay, so
Jesus
you,
Christ.
All right. So, all right.
You can't just
so,
have one.
so
Come on. Nothing gets done in this country
It's
if just
so
anyone can say, I
interesting.
want something
It's
tomorrow.
so interesting to me that you guys are both men and you're arguing over the value of these words that,
I'm not necessarily
specifically
arguing
describe
about
sexual
that.
behavior of
It's
women.
it's the gesture that someone will ever tell me what to do or say.
Yeah, no, I agree
Now,
with you.
again, if you were my closest confidant and someone I respected and cared about, which you've earned in your life, in my world, in my views, not necessarily in your position in life, but your position in my life. And you said, hey,
your
might wanna
position in your
rethink-
life is
But, you know-
privilege. I'm not saying that being privileged is a wrong thing, but
No, it's
be
not.
conscious
I
about
think
it.
that everyone has the right to the privilege of education, and shame on you for not taking advantage of it, because most of the people I know provided for the rest of the fucking world for free.
Education?
You can go to Harvard online these days.
Oh,
For
online,
free?
I wouldn't believe their shit is
For free?
online.
For free?
No, it's not free.
You don't get the degree,
For
but you
free?
can get the education.
For free?
Go
You can
online
get-
and look up any teacher at any Ivy League, and you can get their lectures online. You can take masterclass for free. $20. It's free.
Oh, wow.
You paid more to valet here, didn't you?
I didn't pay valet.
No, we don't valet. We don't valet.
I don't pay valet.
I know. They asked my driver for valet. He said he was dropping me off.
Okay, let's go back a little bit to sex, at least to try and close it. If nothing else, we have to close it because we got cheers. That's nice. Yeah. The one thing that sex
I have a
can
question
do
before we get into
is bring
she
us
said you're
together.
An activist. Are you an activist? For what?
All the lost causes. All the
I was
lost
going to
causes.
say Dominican Panthers.
Someone very dearly to me gave me a St. Jude's novena, which
They
is
give it away at every church for
their
free.
patron of lost causes, and it's like
Wow,
perfect.
you just made it worse.
You know, I have an NGO in Greece, which I started during the refugee crisis, and it's called Lost Genius Academy. It's the same idea. I like bring all your lost geniuses here.
Okay, go to the next question. My God. The worst thing is these people keep reproducing.
Who? The lost
The mass
or the
public.
found? The one.
The mass public today.
Everybody has to
public.
stop reproducing as much. That's a different topic. We should
Honestly,
do
have you
like a
noticed
whole-
they've stopped?
I don't know who they
There's some
is,
changes in
but I really think that
Who's
no
top?
one,
Who's they?
no one should have.
the
This
ones
is
that are just making babies for the check.
okay. This is what I'm going to say.
Oh, you don't follow
He's
politics.
trying to provoke you, and you're so ready. You're like lighting up.
I don't know why. Everybody,
You know why?
everybody, no, seriously, everybody likes to push my buttons and get me.
I'm
and
not
get
pushing
me
your
into-
buttons.
Get me into
You
the political
tested me.
train. Everybody. It's like,
You tested me.
I'm like, what is it? I don't
Imagine
know
a
what
world
it
where I get
is.
told what to do.
Listen,
All right, can I
I'm not
say
telling you
something?
what to do. I'm
You
just
did.
saying. No, I
Oh,
didn't.
okay.
I just said something
You
that I
did.
think I had to say.
That's why the woman has to take control because
Yes,
you guys.
I think women have to take control. Definitely,
Right?
definitely.
Because we don't do this. This
Definitely.
like cockfight thing that goes on here.
I mean,
It's like the
you
two
want to be
roosters.
right, you can be right. I give you all the reasons. You are right on everything that
wanted
you
to
say.
state my position.
Well, I had to want to state my position too. And I said, this is my position and I don't want it to be violated.
Right. Sweet.
And I
That's
want to
not what you
respect.
said.
Okay,
You
so
told me
no
what
one's
to do.
position is violated.
You told me what to do.
Sure,
I understand
Fabian.
but I understood
Sure,
your
whatever
position
you
the second
say.
I got here.
Whatever you say, Fabian.
That's better.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
close it here.
That's going to be
I
our
love
relationship
it.
now. Whatever you say.
Oh my
Oh, we have a
God.
relationship?
We're going to start. This is the beginning.
Oh my
This is
God.
the
See what I
beginning.
mean?
We need to have a
I
part
sensed a
two.
moment of
See what I mean?
intimacy. I just felt it.
They'd be so mean and they always want a relationship.
Is that it?
That's not it, pero whatever you say, Fabian.
Oh.
I'll give it to you. Yes, definitely, Fabian.
Day one of training complete.
Okay, this is play acting. This is what you people want to do when, like pretend things in bed is exactly this. When you say things you don't mean and you give pleasure to yourself
I mean
or
every
others.
word that comes out of my mouth at all times.
I know.
Please punch me if I don't.
I don't punch. I do not punch.
Fist?
Okay, so Peg.
She's so kinky. I mean, you can say any teaser word like that and she giggles. We had a caller last week who wanted to know what happens when they giggle too much. It's like, push the head in faster. Harder. Like, dude, make her stop.
I love the giggle, right? Because it's
So I have a
fun.
question
I
for
giggle.
you.
I mean, I get to laugh a little and break that ice and then carry on.
I
with
have
No,
it.
but it's also, it
question for
rearranges
you.
your body, it rearranges your mind, your attitude, right?
You know it
find
also
the
burns
joy
calories, right?
In everything? No way.
Laughter burns calories
Are you
more than
kidding me?
working out.
No wonder I'm
That's-
skinny.
Look it up.
That's why I'm
I think
skinny,
it's
'cause
even
I'm
on the
like-
Democrats'
That's
apps. Yeah. So
Also, it provides healthy. It makes you healthier also. People who live more are proven to be more healthier than those who
hello.
don't.
Guess how old I am? Don't on the record.
Yeah, don't on the record.
But I already told you I'm twice a week, so it's fine.
Poppins all me. But I do think, I don't know, I think that I am a particularly joyful person. And I have that little happy girl in me somewhere, and it's come with me all the way, which is nice.
She said come.
She's not gone. Yeah, I said come. And she hasn't grown up. It's sweet.
Don't ever grown up, my dear. Stay like that.
Thank you. Thank
Stay
you.
like that.
Both of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for talking with us today. I love you both.
It's over. I thought we had one more
Thank
question.
you for having us. We don't have any last question or anything? Or
I don't. I'm good. I like to close with love and light, but
Love and light.
thank you, Jonathan de Camps. Thank you, Mr. X. Thank you for all your input, your energy, your beautiful generosity joining us. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you for trusting me as your sex whisperer. I am grateful for my growing audience, and I will be back in touch with you again next week. Until then, keep speaking sex. Ciao. If I could make love incessantly, I would be God.